Lady President, yes, as well. Hello! Can I ask you to stand up, please? Fantastic. And once you're up, in your own time, if you can sit down, please, Kirsten. Everybody sit down. Thank you. Hey, can you do that again for me? Can you just stand up? Come on, quick. Up. Please, Barry, stand up. Please, Barry. Barry, I'm pleading with you, Barry. Please, stand up. Stand up. What is it you're not understanding about the two words? Stand up.
Why I should need to?
I'm just asking you to, please. Okay. The rest of you then, excluding Barry, don't feel guilty about it.
No.
I want you all to give yourselves a big round of applause. Now you can sit down. Thank you. The art and science of communication. Let me share a definition with you. The transfer of meaningful messages between two people or more. Simple enough. We often hear definitions like that. But what about the purpose of communication? Think about that. Purpose of communication, I like to think of it as trying to get an action or a reaction from people in the right direction. That's its real purpose. Think about it. What I'm going to attempt to do over 2 speeches is just go into the science of communication, put some more structure to it. And I'm rather hoping that that structure will help all of us to improve our communication skills in life and also, of course, at our speakers. My task this evening, in the 5 minutes we have left, is just to introduce the structure, and then at a future session I hope to expand upon several points. The first part of the structure is really the planning stage, and it's when we are forming the message. What is it we're going to say, and how is it we're going to say it? And if one thinks about some of the traps in what we plan, we all know at Toastmasters that having a good structure is important. We all know that selecting the words and our vocabulary is important as well. So a couple of elements there which come to mind. One is the use of jargon. I'm sure Barry's going to explain to us later all the jargon in the budget. And does anybody know what ZXT means? No, nor do I. A piece of jargon. And there's also the level of language. When we are choosing the words to use, if we use very long words, it can confuse some people. Like me, for example, when I hear a word like loquacious or lugubrious. But when I first heard the word erudite, I thought it was some sort of wood glue. So, if you like, the level of language that is used, and as you read in the manual around this very speech, the points about keeping sentences short and the number of syllables few. Otherwise it becomes too complicated for everybody to take in. So lots of traps in the forming of the message. We then get into the sending of that message, hopefully leading to our audience receiving the message. Traps in sending the message. What about accents? Certain accents from around the country, from around the world, are quite difficult to understand. I think we all know that. But there's accents, as in, my name is Michael Caine. I said, blow off the bloody door. But as we all know, there's also diction. And people with quite broad accents, with good diction, can often send a message very, very effectively. Big subject for next time. What about the body language we are using? Those of you heard about this, Professor Morabian's research talks about 55% of all communication being body language. Only 7% the words. And then the other, what is it, 38%, thank you. The other 38% being not what we say, but how we say it. And with body language, the body language always wins. People will not just be hearing the words, they will be looking at the body language and working out what that actually means to them. Which brings me on to receiving. We all get distracted. It's not possible to have 100% attention. So there's all sorts of things that distract us when we're listening to and trying to do the next thing, which is the next stage of the process, which is interpreting what's actually been said. And that depends, obviously, on what we've actually heard and what we have listened to. I'll come back to listening in just a moment. Once our message has been interpreted, they may be misinterpreted, or in some cases they may be malinterpreted as well, where people just choose to listen to the things they want to listen to use for their own aims. And then last but not least, some of those actions or reactions that we're looking for are not in the now, like my little exercise at the beginning, but they're actually at some point in the future, so they have to be stored. Research at Harvard Business School some time ago indicated that people forget things very quickly if verbal messages are delivered, 0 to 5% after 3 months. Use visual aids, it goes up to 40%. Ask delegates to make notes, it goes to 50 to 60%. One quick point on listening before I finish. Does anybody bet in here at all? Or to have a little flutter now and again? I'm just going to have a little bet with a couple of you around a simple bet. It's a winner buys the drinks, bet. So here's the bet. I'm saying I got 3 pens in my hand. Does anybody want to bet me anything different from that? There's no tricks.
All right then, I will.
Thanks very much, Nicola. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes, Anne-Marie? Yes, Catherine? Yes, Mandy? So, absolutely fantastic. You can put your hands up if you just had a bet with me. Absolutely brilliant, because you're absolutely right, that there's 2, there's not 3. You win, so you all owe me a drink. Because what did I say? What was the bet? What was the bet? Tell me.
Winner buys the drink.
Winner buys the drink. So thank you very much for not listening perhaps quite as carefully as you may have done. So, that's the structure I want to work on. Forming the message, sending, receiving, interpreting, and then storing, so that we can have meaningful messages, and so that we can get an action and a reaction in the right direction. Thank you.